the quiet mistake that steals precious minutes. You can do everything right and still lose the most important thing in an emergency: time. People sit down, breathe deeply, sip water, or wait to see if the pain passes. Those right actions feel calming, yet they often delay the one move that changes outcomes for older adults: getting help fast. For the 50-plus mind and body, those minutes decide so much: steady sleep after discharge, clear memories spared from low oxygen, energy to walk the block, balance to bathe independently. Today, let's build a 1-minute plan you can practice once a day, as simple as a phone phrase and a small pack of chewable aspirin placed where your hand lands first. Your quick check that you're on track. Eyes closed, you can reach your phone and aspirin in under 5 calm breaths. Why preparation beats bravery. After 60, the heart may not send dramatic alarms. Women and people with diabetes may feel pressure, fatigue, or queasiness more than crushing pain. That's why toughing it out often backfires. The contrast is stark. Those with a tiny routine, a saved emergency phrase, an unlocked doors habit, a medication list on the fridge, tend to get skilled help sooner and return sooner to their garden walks and unhurried breakfasts. Those who wait and watch may face longer hospital stays and slower recovery of independence. Quick, what to do now? Set your phone to respond to a simple voice command like "call emergency" and practice it once. If you can trigger the call from the couch without looking at the screen, you're ready. Exactly what to do in the first hard minute. When the pressure, pain, or breathless dread appears, you need clear, simple steps you can follow even if your hands shake. Memorize this order and keep it on a card by your bed and in your wallet. First, stop what you are doing and sit upright with your back supported, shoulders relaxed, feet on the floor or bed, and your phone within reach. Next, call emergency services at once. Use speaker so you can talk hands-free. Say your exact location and that you suspect a heart attack. Then, unlock or open your front door so responders can enter. If you cannot walk far, ask the dispatcher to stay while you slide the latch or prop the door. Then, if you are not allergic and a professional or dispatcher has not told you otherwise, chew 1 standard aspirin or 4 baby aspirin. Chew. Do not swallow whole. If you have a prescribed nitroglycerin for chest pain, take it as directed while seated. Finally, loosen tight clothing. Stay as still as possible. Focus on slow breaths in through the nose and out through pursed lips, and gather your medication list or keep it visible. Do not drive yourself. Do not take a cold shower. Do not test it out by walking. A kitchen that turned into a plan. Marion from Ohio is 68. Tuesday morning, light slid across her linoleum floor while the kettle began its thin whistle. She felt a band of pressure across her chest, not sharp, but wrong, as if a heavy book were set behind the breastbone. Her left hand went to the counter edge, the cool laminate bit into her palm. She remembered the card on her fridge and the aspirin in the blue bowl. "Call emergency," she said, voice steady enough to wake the speaker. The dispatcher answered while the kettle sang. Marion slid the deadbolt with a small clack, sat back against the hallway wall, and chewed the chalky tablet, its bitter, papery taste breaking on her tongue. She placed the phone on her thigh, watched her breath, and told herself, "Stay still. Help is already moving." Paramedics arrived. The door opened without a bang. Later, in the hospital, she learned a blocked artery had been opened. Weeks after, she walked the length of her street and slept through the night without that new, strange fear. What this means for a 50-plus listener: a tiny, practiced plan shortens the gap between symptoms and expert care. The power of calm stillness. Why sitting quietly matters after 60. Your heart works against gravity and stress hormones. Lying flat can worsen breathlessness. Pacing can speed your pulse. Tension can squeeze vessels. Upright, still, and warm, you reduce the load on a tired pump. The action is small. The benefit is large. More oxygen to your brain, less dizziness, better chances of a steady rhythm until help arrives. Quick, what to do now? Choose your safe chair in each room, the place you will sit if symptoms start. Tell yourself out loud as practice. If it starts, I sit here and call. What to keep within arm's reach. After 60, Independence is often built on clever placement. In the bedroom, in the living room, and by the front door, keep 3 things within easy reach: your charged phone, chewable aspirin if appropriate for you, and a card with your medications, allergies, and an emergency contact. A note on the inside of your door with large letters saying "Emergency, Door Unlocked" can help responders move quickly. None of this replaces medical advice. It simply clears the path for it. A tiny reflection for you. If you closed your eyes right now, could you put your hand on your phone and your medication list without standing up? The aspirin question answered safely. Many older adults ask, "Should I take aspirin?" The safest path is simple. Emergency professionals often advise chewing an aspirin when a heart attack is suspected, unless you are allergic, were told not to by your clinician, or have a condition like active bleeding. If you are alone, calling is first, aspirin is second, and both are better than waiting. Never take aspirin for stroke symptoms. If you are unsure, the dispatcher can guide you based on what you describe. The gain for the 60-plus heart can be meaningful. Aspirin helps prevent new clots from forming while trained hands are on the way. Quick, what to do now? Talk with your doctor during your next routine visit about whether keeping chewable aspirin at home is appropriate for you. Write their advice on your wallet card so you are not deciding under stress. A gentle myth to leave behind. You may have heard the phrase, "cough hard to restart your heart." For a person alone and conscious with chest pain, that internet trick is not recommended. Strong, repeated coughing while you are upright and scared may worsen pain, raise blood pressure, and waste breath. What helps more is simple and proven. Call, sit, unlock, chew if advised, stay still. That quiet sequence is not dramatic, but it is reliable. If this helped even a little, drop one short comment with the word "plan" so others your age see it and build their own. When the night is quiet and the house is still, nighttime can tempt us to minimize symptoms so we do not bother anyone. After 60, that hesitation may lengthen the distance between you and the care that protects your memory and mobility. Picture this: a bedside table with your card under a coaster, your phone charging with a long cord, the corridor light left on low, and the front door latch set so you can open it quickly. Small arrangements, big peace. Because when the house is hushed and your chest feels heavy, you will not be hunting for the tools that help. You will already be using them. If you are not yet subscribed and you want more senior heart health guidance in plain, calm language, join us now. It helps this channel reach people who might need it most. The next decision we make is about bedrooms and bathrooms, the spaces where many emergencies actually begin, and how a few quiet changes may shave minutes off your response. The danger hidden in familiar comfort. Most heart attacks after 60 don't begin on the street or at the gym. They begin at home, often in the quietest places: the bed, the bathroom, or the kitchen chair. Familiarity becomes the trap. The scent of coffee, the rustle of sheets, the hum of a heater, these signals of safety can make you doubt what's happening. You think, it's probably indigestion, and lie back down. But for an older heart, every additional minute without help can be the difference between full recovery and lasting damage. The right thing feels wrong. Getting up, making that call, breaking the silence of dawn. Yet the paradox is this: acting when you're unsure saves you even when you're wrong, while waiting to be sure can cost you when you're right. Quick, what to do now? Write this phrase on a note near your bed. If I think it might be my heart, I call first, think later. A night that changed everything. Tom, a 71-year-old retired teacher from Oregon, used to start every night with a crossword puzzle and soft jazz humming from an old radio. One February night, a dull heaviness spread across his chest. He sat up, told himself it was reflux from the chili he'd had at dinner, and swallowed antacids. The music blurred into static. His dog, Jasper, whined softly near the bed, a sound Tom would later say was what pushed him to act. He pressed his phone's emergency shortcut, the one his granddaughter had set up for him weeks earlier, just in case. When paramedics arrived, his voice was weak but clear. They rushed him out within 8 minutes. The doctors later said, if you had waited another 20, the damage would have been far worse. Weeks later, back home, Tom replaced the old radio with a new one, not to erase the memory, but to mark the lesson. Calm can coexist with action. What this means for a 50-plus listener: even gentle symptoms deserve immediate attention, especially at night or during rest. Why older adults often miss the signals. After 60, pain perception changes. Nerves react slower, and certain medications, especially for blood pressure or diabetes, can mask warning signs. What once felt sharp might now feel like fatigue or mild nausea. Many women describe upper back or jaw discomfort instead of chest pain. Men may notice sudden sweating or dizziness without pain at all. Recognizing this truth doesn't create fear, it builds awareness. Quick, what to do now? Make a list of your odd but real symptoms from past experiences, the ways your body says something's wrong. Keep it near your emergency card. Awareness is protection. The unseen risk in the bathroom. Bathrooms are the most common site of collapse for seniors during cardiac events. The mix of steam, heat, and slippery surfaces can worsen symptoms and make rescue harder. Many survivors recall a sense of disorientation before fainting. Installing a grab bar or a small stool may not sound heroic, but those humble additions often give you the seconds you need to stay conscious long enough to call for help. Imagine a morning in a bright bathroom, mirror fogged, your hand steadying on cool metal instead of slick tile. That's the quiet power of preparation. It doesn't change who you are, only what happens next. A short instruction for bathroom safety. First, keep your phone on a shelf outside the shower or within reach, not locked away in another room. Next, avoid extremely hot water. Lukewarm reduces dizziness. Then, if you ever feel lightheaded, stop immediately. Sit down on the stool or floor, even if it feels strange, and take slow breaths. Finally, once stable, call for help before trying to stand or move further. This small change keeps oxygen to your brain steady and prevents falls that can worsen any heart-related episode. The story of quiet preparation. Elaine, 64, from Vermont, used to tease her husband about his over-preparedness. He'd installed grab bars in both bathrooms and set up a voice assistant that could dial emergency numbers on command. One winter morning, while he was out shoveling snow, she felt pressure behind her breastbone as she stepped from the shower. Steam clouded her vision, and her pulse raced. "Call emergency," she gasped toward the hallway speaker. The call went through. Paramedics reached her before she could faint. Weeks later, she laughed softly. "I used to think those bars were ugly. Now they're beautiful." For a 50-plus listener, this means that simple, visible safety measures are not signs of weakness. They are signs of foresight and self-respect. The mental rehearsal that saves seconds. Just as pilots rehearse takeoff in simulators, you can mentally walk through what you do during a sudden chest pain. Close your eyes once a week. Picture yourself recognizing the sensation, reaching for your phone, saying your address clearly, unlocking the door, sitting down, and breathing slowly. When the brain has practiced it, panic takes a back seat. Have you ever rehearsed what you do if pain started suddenly? Write yes or not yet in the comments. You might inspire someone to prepare too. Restoring courage instead of fear. Many seniors avoid thinking about emergencies because it feels like inviting them. Yet courage is not denial, it's quiet readiness. The people who practice small safety rituals sleep deeper and recover faster from fear. They live not in the shadow of what if, but in the light of I'm ready. Quick, what to do now? Today, tell one trusted friend or neighbor where your spare key is. A tiny act, yet it could save your life in silence. Next, we'll look at how breathing, something you already do, becomes the bridge between panic and survival when the chest tightens and seconds stretch long. When breath becomes the bridge. The moment a heart attack begins, the first thing people often lose isn't strength, it's breath. Panic tightens the chest faster than the heart itself. After 60, when lungs are less elastic and oxygen flow is slower, this panic can spiral into dizziness, confusion, or even fainting. That's why learning one simple breathing pattern may keep you conscious until help arrives. It's not about control. It's about staying present long enough for others to find you. Quick, what to do now? Practice a single cycle right now. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2. Exhale gently through pursed lips for 6. It may feel slow, but that longer exhale signals safety to your heart and brain. The science of calm. Researchers at leading cardiac centers confirm that slow, steady breathing activates the body's vagus nerve, which tells your heart to relax. This signal can lower blood pressure and stabilize rhythm. For seniors, that means fewer dangerous spikes during pain and a clearer head when deciding what to do next. Even when alone, your breath becomes your first companion, steady, silent, loyal. Picture yourself sitting upright, the light dim, the phone pressed to your shoulder. You breathe as if exhaling through a straw, each breath softening the edges of fear. You are not powerless. You are guiding your body back toward balance. The instruction: how to breathe through the storm. First, find a position where your back is supported: bed headboard, sofa, or sturdy chair. Next, place one hand lightly on your upper stomach and the other on your chest. Then, breathe in through your nose for a slow count of 4, feeling your lower hand rise slightly while the top one stays still. Finally, purse your lips and exhale slowly for a count of 6, whispering the air out like you're blowing through a candle flame without extinguishing it. Repeat this cycle 2 or 3 times while waiting for help. If you feel dizzy, shorten the exhale slightly, but keep the rhythm calm. This action can keep you aware and breathing even when fear grips your chest. A night of breath and resolve. Robert, 66, from Colorado, used to say he didn't believe in breathing tricks. But during a winter power outage, when his chest seized and cold sweat covered his forehead, that single technique saved him. He sat against the wall, lights flickering from the fireplace, and began counting softly: 4 in, 2 hold, 6 out. The pain didn't vanish, but his panic eased enough to dial for help and describe his symptoms clearly. Later, the paramedic told him, "You kept your oxygen stable. That's why you stayed conscious." Now, each morning, he practices the same breathing while feeding his dog. "It's my calm insurance," he says. What this means for a 50-plus listener: you can train calmness like a muscle, and it will serve you when chaos hits. Breathing as a daily ritual. To make it part of your routine, attach the exercise to something you already do: brushing your teeth, turning off the light, or waiting for the kettle to boil. Over time, your body learns to enter this calm mode automatically during stress. Seniors who practice mindful breathing often report improved sleep, steadier blood pressure, and a greater sense of control in emergencies. Quick, what to do now? Choose one daily cue. For example, every time you sit at the table, do 2 calm breaths. This tiny link builds your emergency habit quietly, day by day. The hidden cost of ignoring breath. Those who skip this simple habit often find themselves gasping during even minor stress. When breath shortens, the heart must pump harder. Oxygen drops, confusion grows, and calling for help becomes harder. Calm breathing, by contrast, clears your speech and mind. The very tools you need to survive when alone. The quiet strength of self-command. Knowing how to breathe when frightened is not a small thing. It's dignity in action, proof that you are not at the mercy of fear. Imagine the difference between collapsing in panic and sitting upright, voice steady, giving your location clearly. One is luck, the other is preparation. Try this breathing method tonight. If you feel calmer, write "felt calmer" in the comments. Your note might give another senior the courage to practice too. From panic to partnership. The greatest gift of controlled breath isn't just survival, it's confidence. You stop being a helpless patient and become your body's partner. That quiet cooperation can turn a terrifying moment into a managed one. It's not heroism, it's readiness. Next, we'll explore how diet, hydration, and even the way you take your morning coffee can either protect or stress your heart, especially after 60. The morning cup that helps or harms. Every heart after 60 tells its own story at dawn. The body is dehydrated, blood slightly thicker, and the first movement from bed to kitchen sends a rush of adrenaline through the system. That's why many heart attacks occur in the early hours. The mystery is simple yet overlooked. The very routine that feels comforting can quietly strain an older heart. That first scalding cup of coffee, the skipped glass of water, the sudden bending to feed the cat, they all combine into a hidden test of circulation. Quick, what to do now? Before coffee, drink a glass of room temperature water. It thins your blood naturally and reduces the morning spike in heart stress. The quiet test your heart faces each dawn. When you wake, your blood pressure rises sharply, a natural morning surge that helps younger bodies start the day. But after 60, arteries stiffen, and this surge can hit like a wave against stone. A little caffeine, a fast walk to the mailbox, or cold air against your chest can make that wave crash harder. Doctors often see morning heart events linked to dehydration and sudden effort. You don't need to give up coffee. Only give your heart a softer start. The morning ritual that can save a life. First, sit on the bed's edge for a moment before standing. Next, drink that full glass of water slowly. Then, move gently for a minute. Stretch your arms, roll your shoulders, or pace your room. Finally, have your coffee or tea, but eat a small bite first, half a banana, a cracker, a few nuts. This steadies your blood pressure and keeps caffeine from jolting your system. The difference is subtle but real. Calm wake-ups reduce strain and improve oxygen delivery to the brain. Over weeks, this translates into steadier energy, fewer dizzy spells, and a more reliable heartbeat. A kitchen of second chances. Angela, 72, from Maine, loved her morning coffee ritual. Steam, the tick of the clock, her cat curling at her feet, it was her peace. But one winter morning, she reached for the kettle too fast and felt her pulse hammer like a trapped bird. Dizzy, she sat, breathing slow. Her doctor later explained that dehydration and caffeine hit her system at once. She changed her ritual: water first, coffee second, breakfast third. 2 months later, Angela laughed with her daughter. "I still love my mornings. I just greet them gently now." What this means for a 50-plus listener: habits don't need to disappear. They just need reshaping to fit the rhythm of an older heart. Hydration as a daily defense. Mild dehydration thickens the blood and makes the heart work harder. Seniors often lose the sensation of thirst, so by the time you feel thirsty, your body is already behind. One simple micro-habit helps. Keep a small bottle of water at every place you sit. Next to the bed, by the television, on the kitchen counter. Sip, don't gulp. Quick, what to do now? Aim to sip every hour during waking time. If your urine stays pale yellow, you're doing well. The hidden salt in healthy foods. Even with good hydration, excess salt quietly undoes your effort. Many older adults rely on canned soups, sauces, and heart-friendly, frozen meals that still contain high sodium. This raises blood pressure and increases the load on an aging heart. Learning to flavor food with herbs, lemon, or vinegar instead of salt is a kindness to your arteries. Imagine a quiet lunch. The scent of rosemary and olive oil instead of salt's heavy sting. Your blood moving easier, your pulse slower, your breath unhurried. The story of a small switch. James, 65, from Arizona, used to eat microwave soup for lunch daily. One day, while recovering from minor chest pain, his nutritionist challenged him to cook once a week. He learned to make a pot of lentil stew with fresh herbs. The aroma filled his kitchen, warm and earthy. 3 months later, his blood pressure dropped, his energy rose, and he told his doctor, "I didn't change my life, just my lunch." For the 50-plus listener, that means protection doesn't demand perfection. It begins with one conscious replacement. The rhythm of nourishment. After 60, food and water aren't just fuel. They are rhythm regulators. Regular small meals prevent sudden drops in sugar that stress the heart. Balanced hydration keeps circulation smooth. Together, they build resilience that medication alone cannot. If you've made one small heart-friendly change lately, less salt, more water, slower mornings, share it in the comments. Your story might spark someone's first step. Next, we'll explore the quiet hours after sunset, why late-day fatigue hides early warning signs, and how evening habits can protect you from nighttime heart events. When nightfall tests the heart, evenings can be deceptive. The world quiets, meals are done, and for many seniors, fatigue feels like peace. Yet the heart, after working all day, faces one more challenge: the shift from activity to rest. Blood pressure drops, circulation slows, and for some, chest tightness or irregular beats appear just when the body should relax. That's why cardiologists often remind older adults: night is when the heart whispers, listen before it shouts. Quick, what to do now? Take 60 seconds before bed to notice your breathing and heartbeat. If either feels faster or heavier than usual, sit up, breathe slow, and wait a minute before lying down. The overlooked signal called evening heaviness. Many people over 60 mistake mild evening discomfort for simple tiredness. But recurring heaviness in the chest, mild nausea, or aching shoulders may be early warnings of a heart under pressure. These symptoms may fade overnight, only to return stronger days later. Recognizing them early can mean getting treatment before damage occurs. The simple rule: if a symptom repeats, note the time, describe the feeling, and mention it at your next appointment. Consistency is often more revealing than intensity. A living room moment that changed perspective. Dorothy, 73, from Michigan, often felt pressure after dinner but ignored it. Just gas, she'd say, rubbing her sternum while watching TV. One night, the ache climbed into her throat, and she felt her jaw tighten. Her husband urged her to call, but she hesitated. When the discomfort eased after 10 minutes, she almost laughed it off. Almost. Something told her to still call her nurse line. Within an hour, she was in the ER, and doctors found a partial blockage. You called in time, they told her. You listened to the whisper. Now, Dorothy keeps a small notebook labeled Evening Check. She writes one line a night: how she feels, how she breathed, what she ate. It's like learning my heart's language, she says. For the 50-plus listener, writing small notes can turn invisible patterns into life-saving clues. The evening habit that restores balance. Before sleep, your body thrives on predictability. Dim the lights, turn off screens, and spend 5 minutes in quiet breathing or gentle stretching. This small ritual lowers adrenaline and prepares your nervous system for restorative sleep. When practiced regularly, it reduces nighttime blood pressure spikes, one of the silent risk factors for older adults. Quick, what to do now? Treat your bedtime like medication. Take it at the same time, in calm surroundings, and in the right dose of peace. The role of sleep position. Research suggests that sleeping slightly elevated, for example, with the upper body raised by an extra pillow, may ease strain on the heart for those prone to shortness of breath or nighttime chest pressure. Lying flat can sometimes trap fluid around the lungs or heart, especially in seniors with mild heart failure. Adjust your position until your breathing feels effortless. Imagine the difference. Instead of tossing restlessly, you drift into sleep with your body supported, your pulse slow, and your breath deep and easy. The danger of ignoring the tired heart. Those who dismiss recurring fatigue or chest heaviness as age often discover too late that their body was warning them. Chronic tiredness after minimal effort is not weakness. It's often a sign of reduced oxygen flow. Ignoring it can lead to larger heart events that take independence away. Listening early, on the other hand, preserves that independence, the ability to walk, cook, laugh, and live freely. A micro-story of change. Harold, 68, from Florida, started checking his pulse every evening after brushing his teeth. The rhythm sometimes felt uneven, so he mentioned it at a checkup. A small monitor later revealed short bursts of atrial fibrillation. Early treatment and medication adjusted his rhythm, and within weeks his energy returned. I didn't think a toothbrush routine could save me, he said with a grin. For seniors, that's the truth. Protection hides in small, repeatable moments. From evening stillness to morning strength. Night isn't the enemy of the heart, it's its repair shop. But only if you give it the right conditions. Calm breath, soft light, steady rhythm, and the courage to notice when something feels off. Awareness doesn't create anxiety, it creates ownership. Next, we'll turn from the body to the environment. How your home layout, lighting, An even temperature can either protect your heart during emergencies or make rescue harder when seconds count. After 60, safety begins not with a hospital, but with the walls around you. Every second counts when the heart falters. And yet, in many homes, those seconds vanish in cluttered hallways, locked doors, dim lights, or unreachable phones. A heart-healthy home is not a fortress. It's a pathway, clear, visible, and forgiving to slow movements and trembling hands. Quick, what to do now? Take a slow walk through your home as if you were dizzy and weak. If anything blocks your way to the door, the phone, or your medication, move it today. The room that saves minutes. Light is life during emergencies. Soft night lights along hallways, bathrooms, and stairs create visual anchors that guide you even in panic. Many seniors who survived home heart attacks later said, "I found the light. That's how I stayed calm." Keep a small flashlight beside your bed, not for storms, but for steadiness. Temperature matters too. Cold rooms constrict vessels. Overly hot rooms make the heart pump faster. Keep your living space between 68 and 72 degrees, the comfort zone for aging circulation. The sound of safety. Technology can be your ally. Smart speakers that respond to voice commands, medical alert pendants, or simple loud phones with one-button calling. All can connect you instantly to help. If cost is a concern, many community health programs provide discounts or free options. The goal isn't gadgets, it's reachability. You deserve to be heard, even when your hands can't reach. The story of a small redesign. Nora, 69, from Minnesota, lived alone in a cozy cottage full of plants and old rugs. After a mild heart scare, her son visited and helped her make heart-smart changes: clear paths, bright night lights, a speaker near her bed, and a sticky note on the fridge with her medication list. 2 months later, she felt light pressure one morning. Her voice command called emergency services before fear set in. "I didn't even have to get up," she told her cardiologist. "The help came to me." What this means for a 50-plus listener: prevention is not just pills, it's the shape of your surroundings. The emotional side of readiness. Many older adults hesitate to make these changes because they fear looking fragile. But readiness is strength, not surrender. It's the act of caring for your future self, the one who still wants to travel, garden, laugh, and wake up in the home you love. Imagine your home like a gentle guardian. Each small adjustment a silent promise that you will be safe even when alone. Quick, what to do now? Tell someone you trust where you keep your key and your medical list. Connection turns preparation into protection. The quiet contrast of two lives. Those who prepare live with calm confidence. They sleep better, move freer, and worry less about being alone. Those who don't often live in quiet fear, hoping nothing will happen because they wouldn't know what to do if it did. The difference isn't luck, it's intention. The heart's real strength. In the end, survival isn't only about arteries or muscle, it's about awareness. Knowing your body, trusting your breath, shaping your space, and preparing your mind. The older heart is not weak, it's wise. It's endured storms, grief, love, and laughter, and it still beats with purpose. These 7 habits don't just save minutes, they save futures. Another sunset, another grandchild's laugh, another slow morning with coffee and calm. A closing of warmth and gratitude. You've learned how to stay alive when the odds turn silent, not through fear, but through readiness. Remember, every calm breath, every glass of water, every note on your fridge is a message to your future self. I want you to stay. Thank you for spending this time here. If this story touched you, please subscribe, leave a like, and share one word in the comments that sums up what you're taking from it. Calm, ready, hope. Your word might be the reason someone else lives to see tomorrow.